Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. What do you think is scarier, the idea that we are alone in the universe or the idea that we aren't? Why? That we are alone. Given how massive the universe is in space and time, the idea that Earth is the only place where any life form exists is unsettling. Everyone seems to be assuming that other life means humanoid or intelligent. To me it just means any life form. Carbon-based or made of elements unknown to our galaxy. There has to be something else. Let's imagine the life of a cell. All it knows is that it is surrounded by other cells and a small area which it thinks is its big world. I believe we are like cells to the current imaginable universe in contrast to an even bigger reality. That's how I've looked at it. If you look at the world through this lens, that the size of things doesn't really matter, but how it operates, you can sort of see how the universe is all patterns, all the way down. The idea that we're alone. Because it would imply that our existence is winning the astronomical lottery and this is all we're trying to do with it. They've had a couple billion years, sir, and the best they could come up with was making memes about a gorilla who was shot. Not again. Let's scrap it and start over. Take 14,960. The idea that we are alone. It gives me a feeling of loneliness and that there is not as much out there to look for. Existence would not be as interesting. Next best thing is to shoot bacteria into space and hope it hits something, then we will have created aliens. Edit, oh crap, this blew up. Would they still be aliens if they originated from Earth? I think about the ruins of ancient civilizations on other planets and how absolutely fascinating it would be to explore them. That would be amazing. We could be practically alone. Most people have no idea how huge the universe is. We can't even visit the nearest star within a reasonable amount of time. If life is pretty rare, then distances could be so large that we'd never see any other civilizations even if they existed. We think alien life, if it existed, could easily visit us, or vice versa, and that's probably far from true, and that's assuming they could even get to the point of space travel. We are within 70 years of not being able to leave the Earth, and within 100,000 of years of having life on Earth that wouldn't have any ability to do much more than a dog. Imagine visiting a planet and the civilization was on par with our ancient Greeks or something similar. That made me immediately think of gay aliens. I think the scariest thing is that if an asteroid hit Earth right now and destroyed everything, nothing that we know of will recognize any record of anything that ever happened on Earth. There will be nothing to account for the loss of Earth. So if there's nothing out there to do that, then it's like Earth never existed at all. Scary. Edit. Golden record, tree falls in woods, entropy. Got it. Actually, we sent out proof of our existence on probes we sent into outer space in the hopes alien life might find them. They have some cool stuff like a star map to Earth and recordings of various humans. So NASA gave the aliens directions to come and invade Earth. Way to go, NASA, way to go. Per second. Mathematically there should be life. I think it would be far more frightening that we are alone. It would indicate there was something very weird going on. Yeah, the fact that people are the most intelligent beings in the universe, LMAO. Neither is scary because if we're alone, then we have nothing to worry about. If we're not, then the sheer vastness of space is a pretty good indicator that we're not likely to ever make contact with another intelligent species. I find it more depressing knowing that there are so many galaxies and planets out there, that there must be billions of strange and exotic places that we'll never see or explore. We're pretty much confined to our own solar system unless we develop a technology to skip across time and space, which is scary to imagine. True. How amazing would it be to planet hop? Forget Europe, I'm vacationing in another galaxy. Hard psychedelic drugs would like to have a word. Tell me, Op, have you read the 3-Body Problem series? Yes. Before reading the series, I would think being alone would be scarier. The dark forest theory makes the existence of alien civilizations far scarier. ETA, I was cheering on the recommendation, the 3-Body Problem series. Sadly, for once my not using sufficient hyperbole meant my seconding the suggestion to Op was lost. How so? I haven't read the series and you can spoil whatever you want to explain. I haven't read this, but the description of the dark forest theory sounds a lot like the plot of an earlier book called The Killing Star. The idea being that any race capable of accelerating something to an appreciable percent of light speed, is then also able to destroy any planet with almost not warning. Just lob something with enough mass at a planet at a 5% the speed of light and the planet will be devastated with little recourse. So, if you detect another intelligent life form, and you have this capability, you should assume they do too and destroy them first since you can't be sure they aren't thinking the same thing. Which leads to a galaxy of species laying low for fear of getting whacked. Yes. I won't spoil too much, but that comes up. There's a chilling sequence in the books where a low-ranking monitoring officer of a super-evolved race of beings on a ship just cruising through space identifies evidence of another civilization, follows their normal protocol, and just casually releases a device to destroy them. It's a simple administrative task. Really stuck with me. That we aren't. If we're alone then we are the best and worst of the universe. I don't want to run into a species worse than us. Valid point. Also great filters, hopefully we've beaten the odds and have managed to secure a place in a hostile universe. Great video by Askreddit. That we are alone. It would give credence to the simulation theory. Given the number of stars being circled by planets that we can see from Earth let alone the rest of the universe, the odds are laughably small that on one of those distant planets the same building blocks didn't exist. This planet is not unique. But simulation theory is the least scary explanation for why we are alone. To me it's actually the most comforting explanation because it means there exists superior intelligence and it somehow cares about our existence, even if only tangentially. The more scary /depressing explanations are. We are the first. It means we're screwing up a very unlikely opportunity. We are one of many, but the only one right now. It means civilizations like ours are all doomed to collapse and extinction. The great filter is ahead of us. Edit, should have made clear I'm ignoring the possibility that we don't know about the others, which is most likely the case. I'm just assuming we are truly alone. If we are the first, we won't know if we screwed up until it is too late. Until there is only one human left alive and no potential to repopulate, we have not failed as a species. If we are one of many, the concept of the filter could exist but is uncertain. Certainly on our planet we would be the only one either to make it past or all others have crashed into it, but we simply haven't observed enough to judge if the universe even has a filter. My personal favorite theory is that we are on a giant Truman Show. They watch us for fun, and occasionally throw a curveball to get better ratings. I never thought of it that way. You just blew my mind. I 100% agree that it's practically impossible for other life forms to not exist, although I can't say if they are intelligent life forms capable of communication or amoebas. But I never realized how much credence is gives to the simulation theory until you said it. It's the only way to think about it. It might not even be carbon-based life, but it's improbable bordering on impossible that we are completely alone. Alone. It's theoretically impossible for us to be alone. But if we're the first /last thinking life forms in the universe that's a depressing thought. Cause that means someday, the last human being will die out and that will be the end of all progress. Sure life will go on, but would another species step up and do better than us? Can they? Will they? I guess the not knowing is the worst part of it. Theoretically extremely unlikely. Not impossible. I mean, I'm no expert but I'm pretty sure Earth and mankind becoming the way they are was also an extremely unlikely occurrence. Well, the idea that we'll never know. There are lots of paradoxes and problems regarding aliens. If they are there at all, have they developed technology advanced enough to create electromagnetic signals, and if yes, why we haven't seen any signs throughout the visible universe? Our civilization can be easily spotted for everyone in a CA 110 Li radius with radio telescope. And we can't spot anything in billions of light years around. On the other hand, we have animals on Earth dated hundreds of millions of years, and they haven't evolved into space dwellers. Honestly, it doesn't matter if we are or not alone, we'll never reach to the stars unless we find out how to break laws of physics. I'm pretty sure everyone alive right now will never know. Maybe it is just universally not possible to travel such long distances in space. Maybe all other species don't even want to do that. Maybe. All we can do is wonder. 'Cause we ain't discovering new planets and life forms in my lifetime. Man 2020 has been a wild ride so far. There is no such thing as breaking the laws of physics. If some way of going beyond the speed of light is discovered, then there is a way physics must explain it. Humans did not create the physics of the universe, we are merely living in it. Think of it as if you are playing a video game. If you jump off a building and survive regularly, you are not breaking the physics of the game, you just discovered there is no fall damage. Breaking physics would be to reprogram the game to do something it is supposed to do. Right? We don't create the laws of physics, math, and all the other basic sciences. We simply discover them. And right now humanity has probably just a page from the whole library of those laws. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if an alien civilization looked at us from billions of light years away, wouldn't they still be looking at dinosaurs and shit? As they got closer they would watch our planet age right in front of their eyes because of how light travels. Yes, but radio waves move at the speed of light, so theoretically we'd be getting radio waves anyways, just not in real time. There's a lag. But there aren't any. It's been 13.8 billion years. That's enough time that even a single monumentally slow species could have colonized the entire galaxy and been sending out radio waves for millennia. But it's just silent out there.